Good morning, everybody. So just heading out of the gym and on my way home to watch football for the next few hours. But before I do, I wanted to drop everybody a message. So Larry Bird is, without a doubt, my most favorite athlete of all time. So here's a guy that was too slow, supposedly, to play or to be effective in the NBA. He couldn't jump. You could probably measure his vertical with a few pieces of paper. He didn't have the athletic ability to be a superstar in the NBA like he was in college. But all he went on to do was win 3 NBA championships, 3 MVPs, and to this day still be one of the top 5 players in the history of the league. How did he do it? Well, other than being one of the toughest SOBs on the court, he did it through determination, will, refusal to quit. I remember an interview. I'll never forget this interview he did. It was in the off season, after the 85 season, heading into 1986. And he had just come off back-to-back MVP awards, on his way to a 3rd consecutive MVP award. The Celtics have won the championship one out of the last 2 years and was in the championship that other year. And they were about to go on to become one of the best teams in the history of the NBA and win another title. But anyway, he was in an interview and he was asked, what have you been doing this off season after your 2nd MVP award? And he said, I have been working just as hard, if not harder, than I ever have in my life since I've left college. And I've started to work on my left hand so I can become just as good shooting lefty as righty. So the person interviewing him said, why in the world would you spend that much time working out and practicing in the off season? You're the best in the league. You're the best in the world. What drives you? What makes you do that? Is it to win another championship? And he said, I love winning championships. MVPs are okay. Those are nice. You know, those are kind of an affirmation of what I've worked, of all the work I've done. But what drives me is the fear of failing. That drives me more than any championship, any MVP that I could ever imagine. Is my fear of coming up short, of failing. That's what drives me. So I say all this, and I tell you that story, because when things get tough, when you don't feel like going on anymore, you need to tap into that. What is it in your life that you fear? What is it that you do not ever want to happen again? Or if you're fortunate enough not to have anything happen badly, what do you want to avoid? So let me tell you a little story about myself, a little personal. And this is what drives me. So it was about 14 or so years ago, and I was trying my hand at the mortgage world. And for a number of reasons, it didn't go well at all. I was in it for a little over a year. Tapped into a lot of my savings and fell behind on some bills. And I'll never forget this day. I was in the office making phone calls, plowing through calls, trying to set appointments. And I got one phone call that pretty much changed everything. It was from my wife. And she said, there's a tow truck here, and it's taking my car away. So I knew I was behind on the car payment, but I didn't realize I was that far behind. It was a lease. So the bank had come to get the car. So by the time I raced home, got there, the car was already gone. So I called the tow truck company, and they explained to me, sorry, once we pick it up, you have to come pick it up at the yard. It's X amount of dollars. And I remember that feeling of letting down my wife, that her car got taken away because I didn't have the money at that time to keep up to the payments along with everything else. And I remember my daughter, my youngest, who was kindergarten at the time, so she was home with half a day, saying, Daddy, who stole Mom's car? Who took Mommy's car? So that killed me. But instead of whining, crying, crawling up in a corner or something like that, I said, screw it, man. It's time to come out swinging. So, I remember everything my father told me, and it was, you're going to get beat up in life once in a while, but it's how you come back from it. So I decided to cut my losses with the mortgages, start looking for another job, which I did, and climb my way back out of the hole, which I have. So whatever that feeling is, I don't know if it's something like that for you, if it's something different. Everybody, I think, has something. I never, in my life will feel that feeling again of letting my family down and having my wife and daughter looking at me like, what the hell is going on here? Why'd they take my car away? So that's never going to happen to me again, ever. So that's why you guys say, oh, you're on your emails all night, you're sending out proposals, you're checking pricing, you're going to the gym and you're doing videos, why don't you just stay home with your family? That's why I do what I do, because that shit's never going to happen to me again, ever. So tap into what it is in your life that you never want to happen to you again as far as some sort of failure. And when you don't feel like making that call, you don't feel like doing that extra work, think about what that felt like. And I will guarantee you, going on and doing more work is a hell of a lot more tolerable than the feeling you had of failure. So I hope this helps everybody, but it only will if you put it into practice. So I'll talk to everybody soon. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.